I'm Tracy, and I do get the privilege to work in an area we call Ministry Wives. I work alongside our lead board and Jennifer Dick, and of course Janice, who is always willing to jump in and help at all the time. And so we would call this area Ministry Wives, and that's women who are married to a pastor or ministry leader. And we know that they face unique challenges and pressures that can impact their identities, relationships, and overall well-being. And we also say all the time, there's really unique blessings with this, and there's really unique challenges as well. And so our heart is to facilitate safe spaces where ministry wives have a place for honest conversation, deep friendships, support, build intimacy with Christ, and through that have greater impact in their own calling, in their own unique people who God's created them to be. And so, this can happen many ways. It's gone on many years. It often includes just going out to coffee and getting to know one another. We've had Bible studies that are ongoing. We have evening events that we often call cafes. And it's really fun to have Donna on this call because she was the originator of this, and her legacy and care continues on. So thank you, Donna. And we also, just desire to set up these spaces to be quiet with God. We all know life is really busy, and you're in ministry, and it's busy as well. And so those are just a few things that we've been involved with. But really our goal is always to create safe, confidential places where women can feel honored, they can feel cared for, a place where they can just be and be themselves, and hopefully feel refreshed when they're done and cared for and noticed. So this year, of course, we zigged and zagged. We had a couple of studies going on and they got interrupted. So some we finished on Zoom, some we couldn't wait to get together. So actually we laughed because we did something in the side of we're in a business park, in the grass, to get together so we could be physically distanced, but just still connected, and camp chairs and blankets. And it was just great to be together. And so, that is one of the things that we recognize, again, is that we just want to stay connected. And so sometimes it's just a call or an email right now. And we did something that was really fun. So we had a virtual book launch. So our friend Karen Stiller, who lives in Ottawa, she's just really talented, loves the Lord. And amongst many things, she's a writer and one of the editors of Faith Today. And she's married to Brent, which makes her ministry wife. And so she had a book, here it is, called The Minister's Wife. And so if you allow me, I'm going to read a section out of it because it gives a little glimpse into ministry life. And she also mentions us One Way in the book. So just going to open this up here. So this is Karen from The Minister's Wife. When we moved to Ottawa, we encountered for the very first time a ministry solely dedicated to the wellness of clergy families. They delivered a welcome basket filled with coffee mugs, crackers, and chocolates when we moved in. And I discovered they hosted an occasional study group for women married to ministry leaders. Now, that is not to imply, of course, that there aren't men married to ministry leaders or lots of women clergy. But this ministry recognized the challenges that women married to ministers might experience. And they attempted to create a safe space for them to study scripture or a Christian book together. I signed up. At the very first meeting, we were asked to share a little bit about ourselves and what we found wonderful or difficult about ministry life. My answer was the same as always. My difficulty never changes. I find it very lonely, I said. It's tough to make friends. Most of the women around the table, which had a spread that included cheddar cheese, and rice crackers, a little bowl of blackberries, and a jar of Nutella that appeared every week, nodded in agreement. They were lonely too. So, Karen has friends, and ministry wives do have friends, but it can still be really lonely and it can be complicated. And so she goes on to explain this in her book. It's a really good book. It's wise, it's funny, it's poignant. and it gives really great insight. So thank you to Karen. I did ask for permission to read this. So that is the kind of safe environments that we love to create. And generally, we always do have food. When we like food, but again, we just want to be welcoming and we want women just to be. So going forward, right now, what do we have going on? Well, we have a Zoom study going on. It's under church renewal, like Mark had mentioned, it's Abide. There's 10 of us together, and it's just fabulous. We get together weekly, and the Lord still meets us across Zoom, so we're really thankful for that. We'll plan some other studies. We're just praying about the timing. We'll plan some virtual events. We still connect either through Zoom or going for walks. We'll just have to dress warmer right now. But what we're really seeing is we are seeing prayer, and we're seeing answers to prayer. So we're really thankful for that. Our God is opening up friendships and relationships. And so one of them, Mark again also mentioned, it's with PWM. So that's an international group, pastors, wives, and women ministers. I didn't get that right. So one of their leaders, Dr. Diana Gimba, she reached out and she invited us to one of her events. And it's just very generous, very gracious. But I loved how Diana phrased this. She said, we don't want to be patrons. We just don't want to be attending each other's events. We want to be serving side by side. We want to be coming together. So that's what we're also very excited about. So thank you so much. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for your prayer. Thank you for your support. It's a privilege.